There is a secret there. There is some glue or what do you say, glay or anything.
There's a big secret, and it's called perseverance.
Practice.
Yeah, it's called never giving up. It's called doing your job. We get up in the morning like everybody else. We go to do our job. Do we always want to get up in the morning? No, but we do because it's good for us. It's what we are.
Last Sunday when we had the Levski sculpture, it was busy. So
tens of thousands of people, really. Yeah. Tens of thousands of people all day long. The beach was full. The walkway was full of people, wasn't it, all day long?
Big thanks for it.
I really enjoyed making it, and it came out very easily. He wanted to appear, Levski. It was some sculptures, they take on their
own life.
Yeah, they come easy.
That one, as soon as the hair started appearing, it became...
We knew that
we knew straight away that it was going to be something very special. We could feel it straight away. Yeah. As soon as I put the camera on it, it was just something else that was there. And I was like, uh-oh, here we go. Calm down. It's a sand sculpture. That's all. Like, relax. It's just sand and water. It'll be just the beach again by tomorrow. Living at a time right now where people are worried about their food and their money and stuff like that, and about the future. So we've got to embrace principles and techniques from the past and relearn what our grandfathers tried to teach us when we were small, and learn how to produce our own food and how to take our own water, and and how to live within the cycle of life. That's what's important, not Instagram and Facebook, really, at the end of the day.
Can we make our lives better with Instagram?
I think it can be a tool, but it can be a tool that's, if in the beginning what it was meant to be used for, it had been used for that, but it wasn't. It was hijacked by political agendas and by ideologies and that lot, and it's still now.
Yeah, for sure.
If you have an opinion about anything now, and you try and express that opinion on most social media platforms, and if it doesn't go with the mainstream narrative, you're going to be fact-checked and you're going to be blocked. And we can all see that now. Whereas 4 years ago, people that had that idea were, there were conspiracy theorists or everything. But now we've got compliancy theorists, people that'll believe everything that they're told on mainstream media and that lot. And now with the Twitter files and all that lot.
The Twitter files was bigger revelation.
End of conversation about whether they were all conspiracy theorists. It's fact. So yeah, I don't. Again, if it's like television, if it's used to educate people and people can learn from it and grow from it as individuals, then bring it on. But if they're bringing it on so that they can spy on us to sell us things, and they're using it so that they can manipulate us through our feelings and through algorithms, then, I keep away from it. If I, go back to the garden, grow some vegetables rather than browse Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, in my opinion.
Is that the best way to spread the good message and some positive vibe? Because we need a scale, because everything is happening quickly and faster and faster. And
it is, yeah. But it's, that pace isn't normal human pace. We shouldn't really be traveling at that velocity. We should be more in tune with nature, more in tune with the forest, with the mountains, with the beach. That's where we're going to get our real energy. That's what real life experience is. Like being famous on Facebook's like being rich in Monopoly. It's not real. It's ego-based. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it can be at its extremes. And if you don't balance it with time in nature, time reflecting on life and dreaming and learning, then,
But it really works. It really works. If you asked me 20 years ago, I wouldn't imagine that they're going to make it so addicting and such a well-working machine in that regard.
That you want to check it all the time. And I mean, we didn't spend so much time on our phones, and we didn't even think we would.
Yeah, but you're like an exception. I mean, you guys.
Well, I spend a lot of time on
Outdoors.
social media.
You-
Social media too. Yeah, I spend a lot of time outdoors. But I'm addicted to Facebook.
Yeah, but do you check your notifications? Do you care how many people like your stuff? Do you respond to every comment? Maybe you respond to every comment because
If it's about sand sculpture,
yeah,
then I try to,
If
because
it's a
they're
question.
fans normally. So
normally, isn't it all the time?
Not all the time, but almost all the time.
Like 99% or 70%? What's
no, more than 99%, 99.9%.
Oh,
But it's not always questions. Normally it's like, you know, love it and all that stuff. But sometimes people want to know certain things. Is it only sand and water? That's quite important to people because they don't want to think that you've added anything to it, any clay to it, you know.
They want to know the
They want to know that it's just because everybody's tried it, haven't they? We've all been down to the beach and we've all tried it. And if you try to make a castle, you know, it's not easy. It's difficult. So
yeah.
But obviously we're using technique and blah blah blah. So it's the secrets. But
it's also so good with the thing you do with the sun sculptures that you make it look easy. It's like I'm going to try it. Yeah, it looks like nothing to do, and then I miserably fail, and it's like, they're using something. There is a secret there. There is some glue or what do you say, clay or anything.
There's a big secret, and it's called perseverance.
Practice.
Yeah, it's called never giving up. It's called doing your job. We get up in the morning like everybody else. We go to do our job. Do we always want to get up in the morning? No. But we do because it's good for us. It's what we are, our essence, and that if me and Remy are not making sand sculptures, we're not balanced. We're not doing good. We have to be expressing ourselves creatively. It's part of our deal, our human experience.
I'm very happy when I create. So today I made the martinitas today and yesterday, and I'm just so happy when I make these things. It's and the public responds lovely. But even without the public responding, I would have really enjoyed making them. Because sometimes we make sand sculptures when there's no public.
Mm-hmm.
We have a sculpture prepared for the public later, but then when we make it, there's nobody around, and I enjoy it.
A lot of people today, I suppose. It was nice weather.
Yeah.
Today was
most
busy,
of the
yeah. Last Sunday when we had the Levski sculpture, it was busy. So
tens of thousands of people, really.
Yeah.
Tens of thousands of people all day long. The beach was full. The walkway was full of people, wasn't it, all day long?
Yes.
It was amazing. It was really touched by all the people and how they were all emotional. A lot of them were emotional. One old gentleman was wiping tears from his eyes and that lot. And someone said that we made Bulgaria weep with the sculpture. So people were really feeling with passion.
That sculpture went around Bulgaria like a wildfire.
People, they spoke to us and they said, I came here especially for this sculpture. I had 20 minutes before I could park my car. It was so busy, but I wanted to come here and see this sculpture.
Oh, wow. It was really something. I will add a picture, but for someone that didn't see it, but it was amazing. It was very beautiful and so detailed. It was great.
Very recognizable.
So thank you for it. Really thank you for it. Thank you for it.
I really enjoyed making it, and it came out very easily. He wanted to appear, Levski. It was some sculptures, they come...
They take on their own life.
Yeah, they come easy.
That one, as soon as the hair started appearing, it became...
We knew that it was going to be
We knew straight away that it was going to be something very special. I could feel it straight away. Yeah. As soon as I put the camera on it, it was just something else that was there. And I was like, here we go. Because sometimes we always try and make beautiful work. It's something we pride ourselves on. But sometimes it's like we surprise ourselves and And the Levski sculpture was one of them. It was like...
It photographed really well. And I also took some really special photograph with light effects on it from the clouds and the thing. And there was a light by his mouth, like he wanted to speak or something.
How did you choose the angle? Was the angle chosen before that? Or how did you...
No,
because
we made it.
It was like orientated just where the sun goes up. Was that intentional?
Yes, it
yes,
was.
I did, because actually when the sun shines straight on his face, which happens at the end of the day around 4 o'clock, then you cannot see a lot of details. Because with the sand you only got one color, and you want to create contrast. When the sun hits his face right on, you don't see it. So I angled it a little bit so that the sun would...
Oh, so you thought more about the afternoon more than the in the morning.
Because in the morning you can see it anyway, and when the sun disappears behind the cliff.
I haven't seen it with shadows. I only see it in the morning. Couple of days, 3 days.
Pictures.
Okay.
I got some really nice pictures of when the sun was just scraping over it, and it gave it a totally different.
But that was some kind of different method, because it was I don't know how to explain it. Flat
graphic, it was like
not 3D.
Not 3D.
It was more like it was graphic to appear more two-dimensional.
It was like a coin or something.
Yes, sometimes when you're drawing or you're creating art, you do the drawing, you make the picture, and then you remove as much of the work that still reveals the soul of the artwork, and that's what that picture was all about. Remy changed the contrast of the picture so that it was just
black and white.
So it was just black and white.
So you can get that special. The way you made the sculpture was so you can make.
The picture was manipulated first
in the computer. I made it just black.
But what really caught me were the eyes.
Yeah,
the eyes, because it's the same picture. I think that's over there.
Yes, well, there are only 5 known pictures of Levski.
Yeah,
and this one is the most iconic one.
Yeah.
So everybody will recognize it.
For sure. For sure. How do you learn about Levski?
There's sculptures of Vasilevsky in streets named after him all over Bulgaria, and eventually, you see it more than 4 or 5 times, and then you think, Vasilevsky, and the information comes slowly, and then we hear a little story about Levski and how he was martyred and that lot, and how he lost his life and how he lived his life and what he did for the people of Bulgaria. And it's very, very inspiring stuff in itself. But then when you go forward 150 years and you see the people of Bulgaria twice a year, one time celebrating his life and the other time commemorating his death, and that's really powerful stuff. And as artists, we feel responsible to create cultural Bulgarian themed sculptures, because we're working for right now. We're showing work for the people of Bulgaria, so we wouldn't be doing our job properly if we was just making mermaids and baby elephants and dolphins and puppy dogs. We do that, but sometimes some things are more important.
And 2 years ago, we created a Levski sculpture on the beach as well, and it was more 3-dimensional, the face. And everybody recognized it, even young kids. And I was so surprised by that, because in Holland, we got our heroes, our sea heroes, and we know their names, Piet Hein and whatever, but I wouldn't recognize his face per se. But here, everybody's so educated about these heroes. And
not for the...
Maybe
most
not all
part,
of them.
but for Levski, it's different.
Levski, it was like Levski. And then people were getting their tattoos out of Levski, they had T-shirts of Levski. A lot of people were wearing Levski, and in their heart, carrying him in their heart. Then we realized okay, this is not just a hero. This is a really special hero.
But you also make it recognizable. If I did it, maybe they won't recognize it.
Yeah.
Wow. So, were you surprised? I mean, we'll make
Well,
this historical figure, but this response was something else.
It was
bigger
it
than
was
we thought. Yeah, we
10
knew
times bigger than any reaction we've ever had on any other sculpture in Burgos. It was like I said, there was thousands of people came, and a lot of them came to see the sculpture because it had been on the TV. So
Still today, people came to see the Levski sculpture, but it lived till Thursday.
It tells you
and then
that
Friday morning we came and the cats had taken it. So we turned the same pile into the Penji and Panda sculpture.
Yeah, Peugeot and Panda.
Peugeot and Panda.
Is there some emotional feeling destroying it so you can transform it into some other sculpture?
Well, it would have been nice if Levski would have still been there because people were still asking about it. From where is Levski from? He's under here. But it was also, it saved a lot of shoveling because the pile was already there. So it's heavy.
I still had to work the pile, so it still work.
Yeah.
But that's the whole thing about some sculptures. They're like
they're temporary.
Yes, especially on the beach. It's very vulnerable, really.
Yeah.
But the people have lots of respect for them, and the people don't touch them. Cats, they touch them.
Cats and dogs.
I was surprised when I was telling people. I was surprised that on the second day or even the third day, there was not even a step on the circle around it.
It was like
which
almost holy ground. Yeah, it was amazing.
It was not like this with what did you do before that? The hearts. Or even you can see that there were children's steps, but
people posing with
it. But around Levski, not even a step inside it, which caught my eye because not the same respect with everything else that you do.
No, this was more respect. Yes.
This is a +1 point to believe in humanity in Bulgarians. For me. I don't know how it was for you, but I suppose this is if there is a scale, Levski is on the one end, and on the other end was the response to the
Queen.
To the Queen or the Prince Charles one?
Prince Charles.
I think the Skeletons lovers was the really controversial piece because a lot of the Babas were saying, "Oh my God, oh Mariah, there's like death on the beach."
Yeah, but that's why we need internet, you know.
So the Queen wasn't that controversial really, and Prince Charles people.
No, I don't think so. But the response to it, I mean. It was destroyed in the night.
Yeah, well, that was just one.
Which I'm sorry for.
No, you can't really judge response by one. The actions of one. You have to really gauge it by how people interacted in the day. And we had hundreds of people telling us that it was a great sculpture, and there was really impressed with the fact that it looked like hair and the artistry of it. It was people were impressed by that. And like I said to people online and that, some people got very upset that we'd made the Queen. And I said to everybody, calm down. It's a sand sculpture. That's all. Like, relax. It's just sand and water. It'll be just the beach again by tomorrow. So sometimes we just have to point out that it's just sand and water and not to get carried away, that this is simple stuff. And we can project our inner turmoil onto anything, I suppose.
For sure, it's that, because if they know you even a little bit, they'll know that you don't fuck with politics even a bit. You don't care. You're not about.
I don't give.
This is our statement that you poke the flag and say this is Britain or anything. I don't know.
I support my family, my friends, and the people around me. I don't support political ideologies, agendas, or parties. I'm not into it. It's like I'll help my brothers and sisters, but I'm not like into all that governance stuff and that. I know that we've got to keep the lights on, we've got to keep the water running, we've got to keep the trash taken away, and sometimes we need
need roads.
We need roads, and we need some things doing, but we don't need anybody like sitting around.
You need a strong army to defend yourself.
Well, maybe we do, unless we.
That's how it escalates,
You only need an army to defend yourself if you're fighting for resources. If we had free electricity, for instance, or then so that we could all grow and we could all do our own things, and we had energy and we didn't have to pay for it and fight for it. Resources is why we have wars and that lot, and that's part of that's all controlled and that lot.
Yeah, but if we fight over there, we won't fight over here.
Well, that's we're not actually the human condition. I don't believe we're here to fight. I believe we're here to work together in harmony. I believe fighting's not an organic, really, construction. I think it's constructed by the military-industrial complex to sell tanks and bombs and keep us all like running on the treadmill of life. I don't believe in any of that stuff. I think we can all live in harmony. People say, we need a strong army, or we need police and that lot. We need a strong police and that. Of course we need that, but we don't need to be fighting wars. That's just
If I have one more last joke, it will be like, and we also need to teach democracy to everyone else, that every savage that doesn't live by our rules, and that's how it goes to kill. Our Western ideals and our Western fundamental ideas of what life is and that lot. You go spend 6 months in India, go spend 6 months in China and see how them people are. They're the same human people as we are, but they're conditioned in a different way. So they experience life in a completely different way than what we do. And,
everybody got a different perception of normal, different definition of normal. You only have to move to another country or another part of within a country even. There's a different normal. The difference between Burgas and our little village, there's like also...
It's like 300 years time traveling. We time travel home. We don't...
So Burgas is forward or backward?
Forward, forward. Again,
in some regard.
What's forward and backwards,
exactly. So if you consider growing your own vegetables and being almost self-sustainable, that could be considered forward, actually. Yeah. Then the village is very forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah.
Are you going to plant something for this year?
Yeah, we're going to grow a big garden.
Monday, and we're going to work on our gardens.
We've got big plans. Yeah. We've got people coming to help us with the gardens and that lot. So we're going to be busy this year, not just sand sculpting, but we're going to be growing food and generally staying as long as we can in the countryside. Half a week in the country and half the week on the beach should be great, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
But,
how is your the pig? I forgot the name.
Dave.
Oh
Dave.
No, we don't. We haven't, because of our work and our age. We had to, all our animals had to be like, some of them died, some of them got old.
Some of them got relocated.
Some got relocated, but
so we don't have animals at the moment. It was not fair to be away
and with the
who's
often
looking after them?
Yes,
well, with the with the COVID pandemic, we know. Look, we didn't work for 2 years. We didn't have an income, so things got quite tight. Luckily, we saved all our money through our sand sculpture work over the last 20 years, so we could survive for a couple of years.
And the Burgas people
supported
us.
We made a few coins here and there, but we lost our work. That's what we did. But luckily, we've got a home in Bulgaria. We could grow food. We could live in this cellar. We could gather our walnuts and that lot, and we was eating off our land.
We've been eating a lot of walnuts.
But now our work started up again, so we've started getting jobs abroad again. So
you're starting to travel. Is it like before?
Yeah, it's getting there. It's
because it's kind of like over, but it's not the same for sure.
There's still countries we cannot enter. So we had a job in the Bahamas, but we had to fly over Canada to get there because we cannot land in the US at the moment.
Because we're not injected.
For the US, you should be like,
even if you just like have a layover there.
So I've just heard about that. I was surprised that it's still, and that's the whole nation. You can.
I know. So we have an invitation to a competition in April, and we can't go, which is bummer.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Pfizer needs to make just a little bit more money.
It's like
Don't
you're the
worry.
Djokovic of sun sculpting.
No, it's we got offered a job to go to United Arab Emirates for 10,000 euros when we had no money. We was broke, but they said you have to be vaccinated. We don't do what we're told. We don't do that. When people tell us that we have to inject something, we're going to say
rather
no.
eat plain pasta.
No, but we're not going to do what we're not going to do
Yeah.
what we're told if we don't believe that it's constitutionally right. You can't. There's the Geneva Convention. You can't make somebody inject something into their body. Who can make you do that? If someone's going to inject something into your body and you don't want to, you have the right to fight for your life. But anyway,
How long do you think are we going to? Is there a real possibility for us to lose this privilege?
no, because because this is a hill we'll die on. No one's sticking an injection in me.
Yeah.
If someone comes to inject my wife, they're going to have to go through me first.
Yeah.
And if it comes to deadly force and the killers, then so be it. But we're not going to be subjugated by anybody. If you think about it with your children and that, you're not going to let anyone. If someone comes to your house and they're going to come and harm your child, it's not just it's your duty to protect yourself and your family.
Yeah, I understand. But do you think they're going to try even harder?
No, I don't think they're stupid enough to try that because there's a lot more people than there is politicians with greased pockets and agendas. There's too many of us if they try that. They got away with it the first time with the
making everybody scared.
the mass
but they
psychosis.
got away with much more than we imagined they could.
Well, they haven't got away with it. They got away with it so far, but there's people that's coming out now. People are waking up now. Don't forget, not everybody knew. Not everybody was aware. People were coerced into it. I wasn't in that lot because I do my research in that lot. So I did my research in that. I'm not anti anything, but I do my research and I looked at both sides and I could see that there was something wrong from the very beginning. It was all too smart. It was all too clever. It all fit in. The narrative was all ready. They've just rolled it all out.
Yeah, but even if it wasn't maybe the fundamental right for you to choose and to be your choice, not to be mandatory, it should be like, that's the bottom line. That's all. There's nothing else to judge. Or
it's terrible, I feel so. I know people that have had heart attacks. My father had a heart attack after his injection. My father's got dementia and he's like a very old man. He doesn't know whether it's Tuesday or it's 1967. But still, they gave him the injection and that lot. And he had a heart attack and people say, oh, no, you can't connect that. He might have had one anyway. But, if people really needed stuff like that, then go for it. But don't make everybody have it. That was just fascism, pure and simple. The people that pushed it are fascists, as far as I'm concerned. To want to have power over others so you can stick injections.
Yeah, the power was the whole deal.
Babies next. It's babies next. They want to inject the babies
Your
next.
story about running on the beach with the mask on and then being tackled by
Yeah.
the police.
Yeah. That was very, very strange. They loved it. And they looked at me like I'm some dangerous person.
Don't forget, they're still there and they're still listening. So
for sure, yeah, I know. That's because I'm still like at 700 subscribers. Otherwise, 700,000 it's coming, but they're suppressing. No, that was my question. The joke aside, what's the scale of this? The Twitter files that we saw. What's the scale?
You've seen it and you follow it, don't you? See what's coming out. Yeah. It's all been controlled, hasn't it? Everything's been. It's all been like
I'm putting it together with the stuff that we heard like decades. 10 years ago, the stuff that we heard from Snowden, and I combine it with
Assange.
Yeah, but no, with Twitter files. So we have the capability even 10 years ago. So right now they have software and hardware and everything to do it like times better. And we have Twitter files. We know that everything is controlled. So what's the scale? Is that concerning me or?
That scale goes all the way back to the first day you stepped into the schoolroom. The first day you stepped in and they started telling you information about the realm that you live within and that lot and what reality is
The
and
solar
your
system.
possibilities and that. You've been conditioned since day one and the conditions still go in today. Every time you turn the television on, every time you see an advert or you go by shopping, you see an advertisement. Oh, advertisements are there because they work, and we're so overpowered by it now that people can't see the trees for the woods, and that's why people need to get back to nature for a little bit, because that's the escape. That's how you escape out of this.
Yeah, one of my favorite comedians, Bill Hicks, he was like in the beginning of the show and full hall of people, and he's like, is there anyone working in marketing? And someone raised please kill yourselves. So he hated him, this guy. But it works, it really works. And
so it's like I see it in that lot where, you know, eventually in that lot you filter a lot of that stuff out.
But I thought that when I start thinking for myself, and when I have this possibility to reach everyone with this situation with the podcast, for example, and I'll be like, we'll think independently and start working on it and spread the message. But if that message doesn't go to anyone, and if that message is like suppressed, so there is no hope. I mean.
Well, I get what you're saying, but I think you should speak your truth anywhere. And we should speak our truth and be damned with it. And if it happens to be the hill that we die on, so be it. We'll face that when we come to it. But you know, we won't. I'm not going to pretend anything. It's like you mentioned before we came online about, you know, that question and that lot. Paul, what is a woman? It's like, well, a woman is a biological female that can have babies and that lot. And normally, we would imagine that, you got the transsexual people and that lot. Love them, you know. No, I know someone that's transsexual. Do I have any unconscious bias against them? Absolutely not. But my mind is based in reality, and biological reality is a reality whether we like it or not, without wanting to hurt anybody's feelings and that lot.
Is he a close friend of yours?
The daughter.
I grew up with this person bouncing on my knee. Bouncing on my knee has been a little baby in that lot, and knowing them until their teenage years and reconnecting with them a couple of years ago. So I know about this. I know about gender dysphoria, and I know about how it works and how people growing up.
And it did make sense with her. I mean,
well, who knows? I don't know. It's not my job. But all I know, and I don't really have an opinion. If people are in their 20s and they make a decision to do something, the only problem I've got with it is like if you kind of teach it to children and that lot, I think you should keep away from people's children and don't be teaching them stuff like that. But
they're asking questions. Good. How can you explain to them?
Well, don't explain to them that you can change your gender, because that's not a truth. It's not a biological truth. Don't lie to them. You know, explain it to them rationally. There's certain, you know, gender dysphoria is where people that are mixed up and that lot. Explain it. You know, kids aren't stupid. No. But if you start lying to them and start saying, "Oh, you can be a penguin, or you can be a unicorn, like two-spirit unicorn," it's like, stop that. That's just creating like mind viruses. That if you say shit like that to small children, that will go in there and it will grow into something else. We know how it works. It's not jet propulsion. This is, this is like basic psychology, isn't it? You know.
Yeah. But is he mad with you? Is he or she?
It was a she, but now it's a he.
Now it's a he. Yeah. Because you said she, and I suppose.
Yes, because
it's a he now.
She was a she. Yeah.
I recall. What pronoun do you use?
Well,
I would call him a he, because he's a he. I've got no problem with stuff like that, but he's not out like.
Is the society in danger if you call him he?
No, I don't think so, no.
Because
it's not about that. It's about if you are forced to call him he.
Yeah,
that's the issue.
No, the freedom. We discussed the freedom stuff.
It's not about whether you call someone. It's about whether the government can legislate you that you have to call them he, and if you don't, you can be in trouble. You can go to jail or you can be fined. So that's what it's about.
Yeah.
The whole thing's about
that. I think that he, in this case, wouldn't mind if you accidentally call him she.
Yeah.
Because, it's a bit
Well,
confusing.
You don't know that. It's like you can never tell with people. It's how people have, again, been conditioned. And if you've been brought up and someone's been telling you stuff, that we believe stuff. That's a human nature. When we're young, we're open and we believe stuff, especially if it's like, if you feel victimized by something and someone says, it's not your fault, it's because of this, that, or the other. Well, that seems to be a way out in the beginning. It might not be in the long term.
Yeah.
So we have to be careful with children and when we're doing. That's my only issue with it. If you want to put a dress on and call yourself like Svetla, I will call you Svetla, no problem.
Yeah, okay.
And I'll be happy to have a drink with you. And that's not, and I don't think most people have a problem with that. The issue, the only problem people have is if you're teaching kids that it's an option in life, a life option. I think that's the only problem there.
Yeah, but they can see, and you said that they are smart, so they can see that that's appropriate behavior for a man to put a dress and then be around children, and then they start like reading children's books in schools.
Well, that's not. I don't think that's. Anyone that wants to do that, you've got to take a serious look at people that want to put a fucking dress on and talk filth in front of children. You need to look at people like that because that's that again. Someone's got an agenda there. It's like a drug addict, a heroin addict will always want to make other heroin addicts to legitimize their life. You always try. So if someone's got some weird ideas,
in our school we did had some guest speakers, and we did had a heroin addict in school. Yeah. But he was talking about how he overcame it.
Good on him.
And how addictive it was, and how far he went down in life with it.
Yeah.
So that was used as like a bad example, actually.
But even the comparison between the two will be damaging for some people. But I mean, the point that I'm going to is like, is it okay for them then to change their documents to represent them in the manner that they understand themselves?
Otherwise you'll have like major issues if you go take a flight by the by the customs. I can see.
I don't really have any strong opinions on any of that stuff, to be honest with you. It's it's like that's kind of stuff. They'll sort that out themselves.
No.
Like
it's maybe they
let them be, and let them be as they are. It's them type of people. They're not the problem. It's these people that are trying to like social engineer society at a speed that we're not used to, and they're trying to flip the whole of society up. And basically, if you can tell people that there can be anything they want and that lot, and you believe anything, then they'll literally will believe anything.
It's very easy. And
it's
just imagine reality, and that's how we understand it.
Cultural vandalism. It's like Marxism or Bolshevism or something like that. It's like it's something insidious that's internal within the society. We see it in America now. We go to America quite a lot, and since 2008, we've seen the middle class erode. Like we saw a lot of people that are struggling and that, and it's like this is a decline by design. This is not just happening like naturally. This is it's like it's eating itself. Western.
Because I think that all of these questions, the West thought over it, think it through 10, 20, 30 years ago, and we're just at that point right now. Like. Exactly this week, our Supreme Court judged if they can change their IDs, and they're like the last year they judged if they can adopt children and stuff like that. That we're just thinking it over through here. We're doing it right now. It's going through our minds in Bulgaria.
Be very careful, because don't let people tell you that. Unless you do what they want, that you're some kind of ism, or you're a fascist, or you're a sexist, or a transphobic, because you don't agree. The left now seems to be using rhetoric that's like, it's inflammable. They don't mind burning
Both
the fucking
sides.
cities down.
Both sides of them. Just trying to
absolutely, it is both sides. But right
make a
now,
war
it's the
between
left.
us.
The left has a go. It's like left foot, left wing, right wing. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
But it's the same people that are doing it. That's why I don't really have a lot to do with
For
politics.
sure. Both of them, if they're different people, they won't be like 100% on the serious stuff. And the serious stuff are like going to war together. There is no left and right. They're both like, let's go to war and let's spend all of our money, like not for schools, not for medicine, not for anything. And so that's how I understand that there is no left and right. But anyways, there's strange situations, like a couple from the UK, same-sex marriage. They come to Bulgaria and they're not the parents of the child anymore because this is not existing and it's not permitted. And many examples like this, and they're occurring day after day because we're trying to be in the EU, and in the EU there's something in common. There's something common. And it's a heated debate, and no one wants to touch it. No one wants to touch it because most of Bulgarians.
Because you say the wrong thing and you get they try and cancel you.
Yeah.
Like, but speak your truth, speak your mind. If you get it wrong, sometimes you have to hold your hands up and say you got it wrong. But I think on these issues of like with the trans things and that, like you just got a bit base our opinions in reality, biological reality, and that's it. And if it's been mean to somebody, then
Yeah, because we're seeing the wrong side of it. We're seeing horrible stuff from the left and stuff.
It's been weaponized.
Do you want me to tell you a controversy and cancellation for one of our biggest podcasters in Bulgaria, Toto? I don't know if you heard of it. But you did a Levski, and that's why I'll just like mix the subject between. Yeah. So he was talking about Levski and Botev. Botev is also a grand, and he said that they were like people from the country of Turkey for 400, 500, 600 years. They're like grandparents and their grandparents, and because we were occupied and there was no country Bulgaria. They were this nation, this people, and we call ourselves, and they were like, how can you say it like that? But it was cut out of the context. The context was that they were feeling themselves Bulgarian, and we are not, even today some people are saying we're not working for the country, that is the government and stuff. We're working for the nation, which is the people. And that's why there was not a country, but that's why they were fighting for the nation, the feeling of being Bulgarian. And wow, they jump over him like crazy. It was wildfire. They were like, Botev and Levski, Turkish people, are you crazy? Like, I suppose he had death threats. I don't know, but I would guess so.
First and foremost, we're all human. That's number one. And then second, we break into the sexes and, the male and the female. And eventually it does get down to nationalistic borders, I dare say. But we're all human beings. We're all brothers and sisters, whether we like it or not. If you look at the political borders of Bulgaria, like a couple of hundred years ago, it was a lot bigger country than it is now, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It took a lot.
At some point.
And all the countries in that lot, it's all, countries do that. It's a natural thing.
Especially the Balkans. The Balkans is like, even there is a saying in English, Balkanization. That's
the Balkanization.
Everything is going wrong because it's all mishmash of nations. And people, there is no straight border that you can say that here are some people, these people on the other side of the border are completely different. They have nothing in common. No, it's not like that.
No, it's gradual.
Yeah, for sure. And we have a lot of these issues here.
Yeah, nationalism, you got to be careful. Like, it's good to be proud of your culture. That's why it's we know the people when we see the reaction with sculptures.
That's
like
why when you appreciate our culture, and we're like, that's why we are in tears, because.
But we need that as human beings. We need to acknowledge the past and our ancestors, and that's so we can so that we can find a future. We're not going to learn just by looking around what we've got now. We have to learn how our ancestors
Why
struggled.
is the way it is now? Why is the way it is? Because there is a connection with everything, with Martin.
Well, I
H.
think,
with
you know, I don't look
holidays.
for why it is anymore. I look for the way out. I'm already like, you know, I'm already past the you know, as we say in England, the shit's hit the fan in a lot of senses and that lot, you know. I'm always looking for a way out and that lot, the future and that lot. And we have choices in that lot. We have choices. I personally have choices because I choose to live in the country and grow vegetables and that lot and live an alternative life. That's our way of escaping modernity and...
or even staying in Bulgaria during the pandemic.
Well,
yeah.
You know, Bulgaria
That
so
was a
blessed.
chance, for
And
sure.
Bulgarians really... they don't really appreciate how much of a beautiful country and culture that they've got, because we see it from where we come from. A lot of our culture has been watered down, and we still see Bulgaria like it was like 50 years ago. We feel that culture when we see it, and that's why we celebrate it.
Yeah. Well, actually, 50 years ago, they were still under communist regime, of course. Was it 50 years ago? Well,
In Bulgaria, yeah.
Yeah.
30 years ago.
Yeah, so
they
a
still
lot
had
of
their
the
traditions.
traditions, a lot of the
35,
traditions were suppressed, and I think that is why now they're more celebrated, all these things, because under communist rules they weren't allowed to celebrate Christmas, for example. So they invented the...
It was so different
Prasak
everywhere.
Christmas, like-
Everywhere it was so different.
Yeah.
Yeah, some places it was even like going to church and stuff, but some places not. Like from where my mother lived in central Bulgaria, they were every Sunday they were in church.
Oh.
Yeah. The whole of the regime, and I'm hearing from other people, and we are discussing communism and stuff, and they were like, it was forbidden for my parents, and it's not possible even to have icon in the house.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you'll be sent to the these
Correction
gulags.
center?
Yeah. If you
Yeah.
and on the like 100 kilometers away, it's like every Sunday, and you cannot miss it. So very different.
Yeah.
Depends on the maybe local, but anyways, the system creates a way for them to exploit it in a way that they can send you in a correction center. So there is something wrong for sure.
Yeah.
For sure, there's something. There was a lot of wrong things. It's not like this anymore anywhere. Yeah, and that's a joke, because you can see Australia, they were in camps. The people that, during the COVID, like 2 years ago, year ago, they were in camps. So I don't know. How can we make the distinction not to go from loving Peugeot and Panda to go to fascism? This is hard, because we are talking about this nationalism and loving your...
Any isms and that's the extreme of the human condition, isn't it? At one side you've got love, and that on the other side you've got like... You know,
we're swinging so hard.
Yeah.
It's so easy.
Well, yeah, because people are so easily controlled by mass media. We're all been programmed and conditioned very nicely. All our brains are nicely washed, and most people just take their daily programming without really questioning it. Most people, and those that do question the daily programming and that lot are labeled like crazy people, tinfoil hat people, and that lot. And the truth is that if you really look into anything, there's problems about everything. You know what I mean? Everything's got what we've been told is true and what we should believe in that lot. I don't really take any notice anymore. I do my own research and I look into stuff for myself and I make my own mind up, and then I form an opinion. Yeah, and then later on, if I get information that changes my opinion, I will change my opinion. It's not, I don't have anything set in stone when you're researching anything, life, arts, anything.
But everything changes so dramatically. So
that's the nature of reality, isn't it? Change, you know,
what's the most tinfoil hat idea that you have?
that I have idea. I don't know about tinfoil idea.
You're not sure about it, but
no, well, we could talk about anything. You know what I mean? We could talk about aliens. You could talk about, that.
What about these aliens?
System?
I'm reading
Aliens.
headlines every day now.
Well, aliens and that.
Is it about what's that about?
Well, aliens and that, we call them aliens now. Go back 100 years, then we call them elves and pixies. And then you go and look on the ancient churches around Europe, and you've got the gargoyles up there.
So they were
this
here
phenomena's always
all
been
the
with
time.
us. This phenomena's
From
always
ancient
been,
times, they were here. Or
yeah,
what?
they've always been here. It's just that within certain practices of magic, you conjure these things. That's
But
not.
what are they? Are they like I'm eating shrooms and I'm connecting to higher dimension, or are they here really actually with flying saucers and stuff?
You've just said that higher dimension stuff. You've got to think about dimensions. If they're coming from a higher dimension, they're coming from somewhere where they can actually bring physical objects through with them. So it's definitely dimensional. If you're looking at the really extremes of some of that stuff, but I think most of it's like military stuff. But 100%, I believe that there is non-visible entities that live within our reality.
Are they completely different from themselves? I mean, the small green men on the saucers, are they?
I don't know about small green men in saucers and stuff like that. I know in the 1950s they tried to convince everybody that little green men were coming from outer space, but I'm sure that was to push the narrative of outer space. Extraterrestrial means extra land, beings from extra land.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more likely thinking that...
in Bulgarian, it's the same thing. Izvanzemni, out of land.
But it's more likely to be some like breakaway civilization or something like that. It's not rocket science. We look, even like... we know that there's like all these civilizations that were rose and that then fell and that they vanished and that like
for sure we don't even know for most of them.
Well, we know quite a bit if you go back to the Sumerian tablets and that. Look, a lot of it was written down about about the history of our supposed like creation and that, but. Who knows? That's a beautiful thing about it. Nobody really knows, and we can all have an idea and. We can all use our experiences and that lot to research this stuff, but nobody.
Maybe the government knows.
Well, they know what they know, but
and they're not sharing because they're afraid of mass panic or something.
No, they're not. It's just when you've lied for so long about things and that lot, maybe it's difficult to admit it for some people that if people lie and lie and lie, and it's like going to the moon and all that stuff and that lot. If you really look at that stuff and that lot, it's really difficult to believe it. If you really do your research and that lot, it's to believe all that stuff that in the 1960s that they sent them little things. I'm not telling anyone what to believe or what.
You don't believe it?
It's not about belief. It's about look at.
Is he believing the moon landings?
It's not about belief. It's about look at the information that's already out there. If you do your research, it's not about belief. It's about you either know something or you know it or you don't.
Okay, I have just one question. Why the Russians didn't say these fucking Americans, they're lying?
Well, maybe the Russians are in on it too. Maybe the Russians after the Second World War. Don't forget who Russia fought. We fought the Germans.
Yeah, but right after that, they were the first enemies.
And
they knew about this consequence.
That was very profitable. That Cold War. That was a great idea of a Cold War. So no, it's not actually a war. It's just they build a wall and you have a Cold War. So everybody generates massive billions and all this military industrial stuff. It's like it's not. This isn't conspiracy. This is history. Look at it.
Yeah, but it's not as profitable as it seems right after one of them collapses.
Well, now they're talking about that they never collapsed. That it was an intentional thing. That all this is like that it's called political theatre and theatre of war for something. A lot of it's like to keep us distracted and that lot and to keep us.
Yeah, but I'm sure that maybe the Russians or the Soviets actually wanted to be in the place of the States. So.
Well, now they're worried about China and Russia getting together and usurping America. So we will see, won't we? We'll probably see in our lifetimes.
Yeah, for sure. The biggest guy in the room, it says they're the danger and pointing the finger to everyone else.
I don't believe NASA. I don't believe anything they tell us. Why? Because I look at some of the stuff and I can see problems with it. And I'm not just going to go cognitively problems that you see, just go, oh, forget it, it's a problem. It's like that stuff. If you're really thinking and you're really researching and you see stuff that you can't get over, it's like you've got your opinions got to fall on one side. And right now, for me, I don't believe any of it because none of it makes any sense if you really look at it.
That's a cynic point of view.
Well, it's someone that's been studying this.
At one point,
I've been studying this for 30 years and that. I've watched everything that's ever been, and I've read everything.
For sure, they're losing our trust every day. I totally agree with that. I mean, but there should be someone that's trying to win, and there should be, for sure, there should be a struggle and between them, and someone's going to blow the whistle if they don't like it, and the other option is for them
the
all
whistle's
to be
already been blown. It's just that look, the whistle has already been blown. It's already, the gate is open. The horse has already run out, and now we're talking about whether the gate's open or closed. It's like the information's already there. It's only cognitive dissonance and groupthink that's stopping it getting out, and they keep reinforcing it with these stories of, oh, look at this beautiful picture of the moon from this, and people believe it. And in my opinion, as someone that has looked into this, I'm not just saying this out of my head. I've looked into this, and there's some very, very difficult questions. If we did go to the moon in the 1960s, and that there's a lot of things wrong with it, and that's just there. That's on the record, and that the record will show. Time will tell.
But I hope there are bigger voices than Snowden and Assange. If you're saying that the horse is already left and the truth is
well, the
there.
The internet's there and that lot. You can research anything. You can get both sides of this story on anything and that lot. And then, and again, you make your mind up on things and that lot. And if you're really into something, if you're really into a subject and you study it and study it and study it, eventually you start to see patterns. You start to see things forming, patterns form, and certain realizations come. A lot of people on the beach are saying to me, especially Bulgarians, they say, oh, we're living in end times. Well, for sure, we're living in a time of revelation.
Yeah, that's what I'm pushing for. Should I be optimist? If everything is the way they want it to be, I shouldn't be scared of the mushroom cloud in the morning.
Just keep taking your hopium, just keep hoping. It's the new hopium. That's what we take now. We all hope for the best and that. And just...
There shouldn't be any real threat if all of them are in the same room and they're all friends and they're all...
Listen, things like that are very, very personal. Armageddon, the apocalypse, death. It come to the people of Turkey a couple of weeks ago, out of the blue. It came in the night. Like a thief in the night. It came and it took them. And one day it'll come and take us exactly the same. So it's a very personal thing that happens to all as human beings. So it's my understanding that we should give it no thought. And when we do face it, we should face it without flinching.
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
And not to worry about it. So no, don't wake up in the morning thinking about a mushroom cloud, because, I think sometimes if we all believe something, we've got more chance of bringing it on, making it happen and that lot. So yeah, so be positive, absolutely, be positive, but prepare for the worst. Be prepared, but expect the best. That's how I live. That's how I work. People say to us sometimes when our sand sculptures collapse, what do you do when they collapse? I say we do exactly the same as we do in life. When we fall, we get up, we dust ourselves off.
We see what's left.
And then we carry on.
Recover.
We rebuild, we recover until one day when we can't. Up until that day, we will continue the journey regardless. And we won't be brainwashed anymore into taking any position in ideologies or religion or politics and that. We're more interested in sand and water and growing kartofli and tomatoes.
And breathing sea air and having our feet in the sea.
Was your Levski appreciated by your colleagues?
Oh, yes. Yeah, actually.
Because for me, it looked very detailed, very beautiful, but I don't know. I cannot split it between that it is Levski and how hard it is. I also don't know how hard it is because I look at it and for me, it's the same with the Peugeot and Panda, and the same with the dogs, and it looks impossible for me to do, and I don't know how hard it is. But
well, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it, wouldn't they?
For me, this Levski, so the other Levski was three-dimensional.
No, I suppose one of your sculptures is harder than the other.
Three-dimensional, it takes more time. So the three-dimensional Levski face that we made 2 years ago took longer, took 2 days. This I did, we did in what, 6 hours?
The thing is with
you're getting better.
Well, the thing is
it was just a different technique. It was more graphic.
More time was spent in the graphic.
The preparation took more time.
Yeah.
And maybe it was smaller or
no? It was.
No, it was a bit bigger. The head was a bit bigger, but because we prepped it and we spent so much time talking about it and working it and that, we could present it like that.
I measured it all out, and then I I followed the grid.
But that technique,
it's not easy.
It's not easy technique.
No, it's not easy technique. And with the sand, you've not got colours. You've got light and dark, shadow.
Yeah,
so it's just shadow. That's what that was, shadow on sand.
And with the eyes, I did create areas that were deeper and less deep. So like the eyebrows, this was less deep, and the pupils were deeper. It was a little bit 3D actually in that graphic.
Only the depth of this.
Yes.
The dark spots.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's not for everyone, that's for sure. But I mean, what is for everyone? Before you start planting your tomatoes and the other stuff, are you going abroad before that? Is there any plans for some big event?
We first on Monday we go to the village and we're going to start the gardens and with the help of volunteers, repair our fences and things like that. Our next job
we've got a competition, an international masterclass competition in Sweden.
Oh yes,
which we've won it. We won it twice, so they've invited us back to the
champions.
As champions.
So they should invite you. There is
only champions.
Only winners are invited.
Only champions are invited back.
Because it's 10 year.
How do you get in then?
You're invited as a champion from other events.
Yeah.
So
this one was for so they had this event for 10 years. And the winners of all these 10 years are invited now.
Wow! So this is like one in a 10 years competition?
No, it's
they've had it every year for 10 years. It's the anniversary.
Yeah, now it's the anniversary, and just the winners of these 10 years. So it's a 1 in 10 year like gathering of, if I understand it correctly, because only the winners of these 10 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, my God! Are you planning? Do you know what?
We're going to
sculpture are you going to do?
We're going to do a large.
Is that a secret?
No.
Very large naked woman
with like the very sculptural,
very voluptuous. Because the Swedes are open to all that nudity, and we just thought we'd take
beauty of the big.
Yeah, we're just going to do a nice big, beautiful woman
that's proud.
That's beautiful and big. So just to give them something different. And then we'll be going to the United Kingdom in England, and we'll be.
How many details are accepted?
Everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. You just have a time limit.
We can.
How long? Do you have?
4 days, 50 hours.
4 days. 50 hours of work.
Yes.
They clock it.
Yes.
You cannot go in the night or anything.
No, you all have to stop.
So you should stop.
You have to be.
They blow the whistle.
You have to have good time management.
You have the tools down. It's tools down.
Wow, so they take it very seriously.
Yes, it's a great event.
Competition, there's rules.
It's a great event. We love it.
Otherwise, you cannot compare. If you.
And people are going to see it, I suppose, from all over the world. They're going to go and get tickets to see that.
It's a major event.
Sweden.
Yeah, Sweden. Yeah.
Kalmar, it's a lovely place. We're next to a castle.
When is that?
It's in the summer. Is it June?
July.
Yeah.
We go from.
Otherwise, you're gonna do it with, I don't know, snow.
It's too close. I'm not going anywhere near snow.
He doesn't like it.
Yeah,
like
last
snow.
time you told me that you hate it.
Yeah, and then we go to England.
Then we've got an art gallery. We're going to be putting sculptures in an art gallery. So that's
We're preparing for that
that's
now.
interesting. So
What?
yeah, into an art gallery.
The sand sculpture, you're going to
Yeah.
make it
Yeah,
in the
we're
art
gonna
gallery.
In the
take
art
sand
gallery.
inside.
And we build sculptures in the gallery. So
Mm.
it's going to be a nice...
And then we go to Canada.
then we go to Canada, where we're taking part in a TV show.
It's called Race Against the Tide. And the tide comes in and the tide goes out. And in between,
We have 6
you have
hours
to make
You
a
have
sculpture,
6
and then the water
hours.
will come to take the sculpture.
Oh, they put some thought into it. That's
So, well,
great
it's,
idea. That's
Yeah,
great
that
idea.
will be like...
it'll be hard work, but it's right up our street because it's beach work and we're really strong on the beach.
And then every round, one team will be like the
Eliminated.
losers eliminated.
I think
So,
you can
and
win
then-
$10,000 or something like that,
and
the
the
winners.
next goes on.
So we're
How many rounds are there?
I think 4.
4 rounds?
Yeah.
Four or five.
Is that 4 days in a row?
Yeah, like 4 days. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was it big, because you start talking about money, what's the biggest event? This event that it's in Sweden sounds like a big deal.
No, well,
Just-
a lot of it's not really when you win. We get paid. They pay us to build the sculptures, and then some of the events they'll turn it into a contest, and then they'll give a prize. But normally it's just a few thousand, you know.
Yeah, but I
1,000.
mean, it should be like
Biggest
something
scale,
huge.
It should
Oh.
be,
should be.
but it isn't.
No. It's more...
And it's like art, you know, other forms of art like snow.
It's
all,
an
also
exhibition. It's
there's
just
not a
that
lot
they
of,
make it
money
into
in
a
it.
competition.
Is your like you were the winners and that's why you're going, but are your colleagues paying to go in?
No, everybody that's
No one.
going there, all our colleagues are recognised as masters. You have to really, within
get
any
invited
field,
if
everybody
you're-
knows everybody.
Mhm.
They don't just invite somebody; they
No.
invite people
This is invitation only.
from our
competition.
group. Let's say there's about 100 of us in the world that are at a level that are considered master, where we can be invited to the events all over.
And
the
from
world.
this 10 years, you won 2 of them.
Yeah.
We only went to 2. We won.
But I think
we
I-
won
I
twice
feel
and won
I feel
twice.
sad for the competition.
No,
you know.
there's some very good competition.
Yeah.
For sure,
But I
for
think
sure.
they also invite the top 3 it was out of the top 3 of every year, or was it
No, it's
super
just the winners, yeah, it's
but
just the
how
winners.
many teams will there be?
I think there's 8 of us or something like that.
Oh, okay.
8 teams.
Yeah.
It's not so you're not competing with each other.
Yeah, we're competing against each other. Me and Remy would be doubles.
Yeah. In
So we
some
do
competitions,
doubles.
when we do singles, then we compete against each other.
I suppose that's fun.
Yeah, it's
that
fun,
is
yeah. Because we share tools, so...
Yeah, so
Pass me the trowel. I'm using the trowel. I need it. So it's fun.
So we always ask to be next to each other, that we can exchange our tools.
Uh-huh.
And the plots next to each other.
I suppose the idea is the hardest thing, not like
Well, the
doing
execution.
tricks.
The work's pretty hard,
Yeah.
I tell you.
But preparation is, of course, it really helps.
Lots of shoveling.
What's the
Lots.
preparation? Shoveling?
Shoveling, lots of shoveling and compacting the sand and watering. It's very physical,
Yeah.
like 4 to 6 hours of extreme physical work, just compacting the sand in competition. And it's done very quickly because it is a competition. So it goes from very physical to being from very hard and physical to then soft and sculptural. So
Is someone helping you
no,
for the
No.
competitions?
no.
How are you shoveling?
Yeah,
Shoveling.
well, I have to. And
How?
Yes,
the
sheer
next day, I
practice.
feel like a train
Oh
ran
my
over me.
God.
Like,
Because this is water and sand.
Man,
it's like
yeah, but
stones, even
tons
small stones is stones.
It's hard work.
tons of sand.
Yeah.
Try to lift 1 bucket of sand up, and then you know van how
Yeah, yeah,
hard it
yeah.
is to shovel.
It's more compact than putting large stones inside. So
Yeah.
But it's good for you. It's good for your health. It's good for your strength. We're strong from our work, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're out
are you
all the-
helping her? when you're competing?
Not
We're
when
not allowed, but well, he does.
not when we're in
Not allowed.
singles, in solos. You're not allowed. It's
No.
against the rules. And that.
And my sculptures in competitions are a little bit smaller than the rest because, physically I cannot shovel as much, but I make up for it with more
Quality,
details.
yeah.
And quality.
The last was the last one when you were in some Middle East. What?
Yeah, we just
Oh,
been
yeah,
over
yeah.
to the Gulf. There was the
Abu Dhabi.
Abu
Abu
Dhabi.
Dhabi Gulf, and we built.
It was this
Yeah. it was-
beautiful small piece.
Yes.
It was like detail and precision, and not something huge, but
Yeah. That's what they wanted. They wanted their the cup.
yeah, it was like
Trophy,
reproduced,
yeah,
the
the-
trophy.
that was a trophy.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
Ah, wow.
So every by the golf, every golf location has their own trophy, and this
Mhm,
was
mhm.
the Falcon Cup, and it was a beautiful falcon.
Yeah, it was.
yes.
It was.
And in if they would have it in Dubai, for example, where there's also a golf course, then we would have to make a building. So I was really happy, and we had the Falcon.
Do you have any structure? I mean, some
No.
skeleton for it?
No, it's
nothing.
No, we
Pure
never-
sound, everything.
People ask that, and if you tried to put anything inside it, you wouldn't be able to do it. It would
You wouldn't stick to
destabilize
it.
it. No, the sand needs to be just sand, because it dries at a rate. When it dries, if it's drying at a rate and there's an armature inside it,
Mhm.
it's going to create fractures and that. No, we don't need to put anything in it. It's not
It's
broken.
holding
It
itself
can't
up.
break.
It was
It's
really
sand.
a suitable sand for sand sculpting. It was not beach sand. Beach sand is
It
pebbles,
was dune
it's round.
sand.
Yeah.
But this sand, it was
It was dune.
stronger.
It was from the
We could go
dunes.
more steep
Mhm.
with it.
So it was much, much finer, I
Much,
suppose.
It was very
finer, yeah,
fine.
it was
It could-
very fine.
Very detailed.
Because really, I looked at that Abu Dhabi
Mhm.
picture and it was like made out of glass.
I
Yeah,
know.
it's cool.
I wear my glasses for the details.
You're doing it with a
we're
pen.
reading glasses.
He's doing the logos
I
with
was
a pen.
with a little
Really?
sewing pin out of the sewing kit of the hotel. Yes.
Yeah, that was fun. We had fun in Abu Dhabi. Yeah,
I suppose it's beautiful. Was it? I don't know. Was it hot?
yeah, it was very
It
hot.
was hot.
Very hot. Yeah.
It wasn't as hot as the Bahamas. We was there in Christmas, over Christmas.
Yeah,
when
we
that
were
was hot.
melting in the Bahamas.
The Bahamas was cold.
Abu
That was-
Dhabi was it was a better season actually. It was pleasant. I thought it was pleasant.
All
And
of
we-
these places, like in the Middle East, it is like they're starting to work on giving this place a vibe on its own. I mean, with the World Cup in Qatar,
Mhm.
and they're trying to bring all of the sport there, not just golf, but in Formula One and all
yeah,
of it.
we've
they want
worked.
to
We've
go.
worked the
Their
Formula One.
budgets are pretty good.
We've
there.
worked
Yeah,
all over the Middle
They're
East.
making it work.
Yeah, it's everything was perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The same thing with the World Cup. They're like putting the work into it, and they try to get on the world map and to say that here we are, we can do it like
Yeah.
in the West.
Mhm.
Interesting. I suppose you'll be going there again.
Yes,
Inshallah.
inshallah. Hopefully,
What does it mean?
That means God willing in Arabic.
that's
So
what they say
that's
there all the time.
Inshallah.
So van will the sand be here on time? Inshallah. Like everything's inshallah.
It's a nice saying.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful part of the world. We've worked a lot in the region, like over the last 20 years.
And for sure it happens. It is there.
We've never.
No, well, you never know.
We've never
It's
done a
like,
job where we didn't do the job.
Yeah.
We
always
always
do
we
something.
always
That's your
do it.
answer for them.
No, it is their answer
Their
because
answer.
they
I suppose
they
you
cannot
joked.
guarantee anything because God willing.
I suppose that's part of the culture. You always say that.
Yeah. So
How can I say otherwise? I'm making plans for God.
Yeah. When we do a job in the Middle East, I always plan a day extra
Mhm.
because something always goes wrong or delay or whatever.
Something happens?
Yeah, always. It's like, that's just how it is in the Middle East, in my experience.
Are you covering your hair? Or if
She had to do that once when we went to Iran. That was a nice country.
Yeah.
We
So
spent
where
10
I
weeks
had
in Iran. It was one of the most beautiful countries in the world with some of the most beautiful people you could ever imagine. Everybody was friendly. Everybody was polite. No politics, no religion, no bullshit. Just nice, straight talking brothers and sisters.
I'm trying to figure out how you guys bring this up into people, from people. I don't know, but always this positive vibe. Always. So I suppose it's more you than the place. Do you have problems anywhere?
Well, you make a choice at the end of the day, don't you? We make choices whether how we're going to be. If sometimes other people make choices that are not positive and that affects us, then yeah, I can go negative.
I suppose, but I'm giving my best, but I don't have this right feeling. The first impression, it's not like your first impression that you're giving to people. Like you're giving this positive first impression.
Well, I think you have to be, don't you? You have to,
you can't
shy away. Well, you can, I'm not going to let my ideas of what other people's are or preconceived ideas stop me from being a friendly person. When I first came to Bulgaria, I noticed it straight away that people found it hard to smile. So I knew I had to be the first. I had to smile first. I had to do.
To the ladies in the shop in the village, for example.
Because they were used to it.
They were startled when we walked in. Like, what's happening, foreigners?
So, I know I can be a bit scary, so
we made a habit of positively.
Why not?
Smiling. Because in Bulgaria they had a mere like poker face from the communist time or something.
I don't know. I have it in me, and I don't know why we're like that. But and this is with the best intentions. I just I don't want to bother these people, and maybe being a poker face and be as quick as possible in and out. That's the best approach, and it's not. For
as
sure,
a traveler,
it's not.
You learn very quickly in that law that it's within our benefits to be a positive force. Because whether we like it or not, whether I like it or not, I am a force. So it's better for the people around me and better for me if I'm positive. So that's, again, for me, it's a choice. I make a conscious choice most days to project my positivity. I could spend time projecting my negativity, but why would I want to do that? Because if I'm doing that, I'm putting that on others. Mm-hmm. I know how my positive energy affects other people.
And for sure that positive energy reflects back to you. Same as the negative energy reflects back to you.
If no matter what you fill your life with, if you fill your life with positivity, when you become full of positivity, it will spill out onto the people around you. It's the same with love. It's the same with hate, unfortunately. If people fill themselves with hatred and things like that, it will eventually spill out onto those around them. So
if you go into the shop grumpy, then you'll probably get a grumpy response back.
I suppose so. I think so. And I try to be positive, and I try to be, but at the same time, as polite as possible. And that politeness can be like, it's not that with me, but it can be like, I don't know, Japanese person positivity. He's going to be like, good day, hello, and that's what I need, and go away and not show that positivity. Sometimes when I'm after the episode, when I'm editing and I'm looking at myself and I'm like, what that face at that time? I want to try to show that I'm appreciating, I'm listening, I'm gathering all of this information, and I'm trying to look like I'm accepting, and I agree with the things I heard, and I'm looking at myself after.
Your face.
Yeah, maybe that's why 700 subscribers. I'm like, why is that face? And that's why I'm trying to figure out how can I show this positivity like you.
Well, what it's about, I think, self-consciousness. If you're too focused on your self-consciousness and that lot, it can be, like you said, some people don't like looking at themselves on camera or listening to themselves. People are uncomfortable with themselves. I think once you become comfortable with yourself and what's inside, I think then you can express it. But I express positivity to all those around me. But like I say, if people cross me, then I'm, and then I can just as well express negative.
For sure, you can defend yourself, of course.
Oh, yeah, he's a Viking. So.
But given the choice every time, I want to do the right thing. I want to be a good person, and I want to help, people around me if I can, given the choice.
I know his grumpy side.
I know my wife's grumpy side too.
Yeah. We're human, right?
Yeah. For sure. But you're trying to overcome that. Even the times that you're grumpy, you're trying to overcome that and not give this negativity to someone else.
No. And when we're on the beach making a sculpture for the people of Burgas, we want to project positivity, of course, because if we're grumpy and arguing on the beach,
then that would come out in our work, and it would
not the right energy.
You don't want that, do you? You don't
start making skeletons and stuff.
Well, we've already been there, but at least the skeletons were in love. The whole point of that sculpture was about
eternal love.
I thought it was so romantic, but.
That's why that's the way I got it. I was very surprised that
it was my favorite piece, but it was probably the most controversial. People were, but hey, there you go. You can't make all the people happy all the time, and you shouldn't make all the people happy all the time. Just some.
Yeah, even if you're doing Levski every day, on the 7th day you'll get a stone in your back.
I've known people that do the same sculpture day in, day out, the same sculpture, repeating it.
Wow, are they hating it?
A lot of people. Some people are. They get attached to the feeling, and if you can create something really beautiful, and that even if it's the only thing you can create, then you'll do that, of course.
Yeah, and that's another level of Zen that.
You can't have the same interview again and again and again, can you? In your profession, you got to mix it up a bit.
Yeah, for sure. Now I'm into comedy. Try to be. On the 1st, I will have my second open mic, and I'm learning about comedians and stuff. And when I learned that there are some comedians that they're doing the same joke year after year, and
literally the same joke.
Yeah, they have the same material, and developing new material is kind of hard. And working on it and trying it and failing until you make it. And they're like this 10 jokes, their work, they crush every time. Everyone is laughing. Why should you change them? And it's just a type of people, some people that when they love a song and they'll listening on repeat 1,000 times, and I'll go mad if I listen to a song. Even if I love it 10 times in a row, I'll be in a coma. So I suppose it's different types of people. You're more than welcome to come, but the jokes will be in Bulgarian, so I don't know. Maybe it will work better.
I now go to children's things to develop my Bulgarian. So I went to children's theater, children's puppet show, and the language, I can almost understand it now.
That's the level.
Yeah, that's the level. So I think this will be a bit too advanced for me.
Okay. Are you still planning on staying and living in Bulgaria, even with this lots of traveling?
Yes.
You haven't changed your mind.
Our home's here. This is our home.
This is our base.
You still feel that way?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow. Not surprised, but anyways, you're traveling your whole life, so I'm not surprised that you love it. I'm not surprised if you say that you're gonna be moving. So I'm just asking.
We'll always keep our base of operations, because as travellers now, we travel for years. Before we found a place to put down a route and that lot, and it's now it's our home, isn't it? We planted our trees and things. We've grown.
Even if it's a place to empty your backpack and fill it back up again, you have to.
You need that place. Yeah.
But
right now we've been living out of a bag, haven't we, for a little bag for a couple of weeks.
We going up and down to Burgas and to the village, and we went to Varna, and then we go visit a friend. And
how is it in Varna?
Band
We
is very
liked
nice.
it.
Liked
Nice.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thought
Yeah.
it was very cool.
It's great there. Yeah,
It's
I
bigger
love it
city,
too.
of course.
Yeah, it's bigger.
It's bigger, much bigger.
We liked it. We really liked the hot pool on the front, didn't we?
Yes.
Sitting in the hot pool. That was great. Yeah, we.
You have some friends there? I mean,
No.
before?
No, we just go.
You just went there?
Yeah, we
and-
just go, and that's
traveled.
what we planned this year when we're in Bulgaria and we've got some time off and we're not on the beach.
We still got a lot to see in Bulgaria.
Yeah, we still got a lot of places to visit in Bulgaria, and that we love it, don't we? Going to all the special places, all the cities that have not. You hear of these places but you see certain bits of them on the TV or in advertising, but we've never been there. So
No, we take the train, but we've never actually been walked around in Karnobat or Jambol. So we still have to do things
I have
that.
walked about in Carnival, I must admit,
yeah,
but,
okay, well,
but not
okay,
Jambol.
but,
I haven't been there. So there's
Yes,
but
there's
there's
still
places-
Just mythical stories.
There's so
I suppose.
much to do in Bulgaria.
We have to go on the train line from September to Bansko,
and
for
we're gonna do
example.
the,
That's-
Oh, this
Honest
narrow
famous.
train
Yeah,
truck. Yeah, that's great.
yeah,
That's a
so
great trip.
That's one of
It's
the
like
things I want
2 days
to
trip
do.
because
And
it's
just living
6,
here,
7 hours one direction if you go the
Mhm.
whole route.
Yeah, then we'll stay in Bansko for a night and then
Yeah, that's great.
or two.
we're just so involved in. We've got such a busy life here in Bulgaria now. I can't really imagine myself living anywhere else.
Busy? What do you mean busy?
Well, we've got friends.
You have stuff to do?
Yeah, we've got
But you don't have
schedules.
schedules?
We do things. We're on the beach and that lot. Sometimes we're working as actors in Sofia, and we do jobs for commercials and stuff.
We have an St. Patrick's Day to go to in
the
Sofia.
Irish Embassy wants
like-
us to go and drink free Guinness with them on St. Patrick's Day next month. So we will.
Oh,
apply
that sounds
to
great.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's one of our things.
So
planning to do.
we've got friends. We've got a lot of friends. So we do things. Keep busy.
You should.
And,
You
and
should.
that's without the gardening. That's without even touching the gardens.
Oh, and that's a huge mountain to climb.
That's the real fitness, isn't it? That's where you get your real fitness from. It's easy shoveling sand and that, but it's when
It's
you,
easy?
yeah, compared to working in the Gradina, yeah,
Depends on what you get used to,
yeah.
I suppose.
Well, soil and that is pretty. It's hard on the body. Sand is very soft and very gentle.
Soil is sticky.
But working in the garden, I find I'm always like I really feel it working in the garden. Working on the beach, I treat it like it's like a workout. I really enjoy the physicality of it because it's soft. It's hard work, but it's soft. It's like shoveling and carrying water. It's gentle.
Are you going to make, you said commercials or?
Yeah, we do. We've made a couple of commercials.
We're
TV.
both subscribed by modeling agencies
So we-
and as actors. And Paul's been starring in a few commercials, and
Mhm.
I in one. And
Have we seen something
Yeah,
new?
Mr. Bricolage.
Mr.
was
Bricolage.
going for a
After that? Last time we showed Mr. Bricolage.
Oh, you did,
And
did
then
you?
we just done one for Swiss TV for the Galaxy Z
Flip 4.
the new
Was it
telephone.
in Austria?
It was for Swiss market.
Some new phone?
Well, it's a TV advert for a telephone. It's just that the agency asked me if
I'll
I was
send you
interested
some
in
material.
doing it.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
funny, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So
curious.
We do stuff like that only because it's like sometimes you need to step out of your comfort zone and you need to do other things, and I like to do creative things.
Do you like?
So when it comes to
He looks
acting and
great
things
in
like
front,
that,
on
I
the-
like to do stuff
on the
like
screen,
that because
like
it's
people love him. in
Yeah,
front of
I
the
couldn't
camera.
recognize him with Mr. Bricolage.
no,
Oh.
it was acting. I was in character.
Yeah, but it was great. It was great.
So yeah, we do little things like that. And, that's fun. We do that the first thing we do is we say we got to have fun, and then we work hard. You learn your lines, you work hard, and you turn up on time, and you be polite to people,
Mhm.
just like in normal life. It's like
And this summer we worked on a documentary about us making sand sculptures in Burgas.
Yeah.
And that documentary is now finished, and it's called Remy and Paul.
Called Paul and Remy, actually.
Paul and Remy film, and it's going to be entered in film festivals.
Yeah, film festivals, but I don't think there is a chance for me to watch it, like in YouTube or anywhere.
They are going to show it again in Burgas because the council also gave some money for this project.
Mm-hmm.
And,
last time they showed it in Flora.
Yes.
In Flora,
yeah.
I wasn't here.
No, but they said.
But I know you guys.
They will show.
It's a fun film.
They're going to show it in a bigger venue in the summer, I think, somewhere.
We had a great time with them guys. Peter, the director, and all
that was fun.
They're Bulgarians?
Bulgarians.
They're quite famous, actually.
They're the famous Bulgarian director.
He teaches at the university for film
and
stuff,
wow.
and he makes films. He's a professional.
Yeah.
We had a great time with them because, again, working with creative people. That's what it's about with us. We work together, but sometimes we want to work within a team of creative people because then we get to we get to express ourselves in different ways.
How much time do you spend with them?
We was with them for 3 days?
We were in Burgas for 3 days, and then they came to the farm to Mihailovo.
Oh, wow.
Because they found that was part of the story, and it happened to be his birthday, so we had a party with the film crew. It was nice.
Great guys, so had a great time with them.
And they made Mihailovo look really good, actually. They saw our love for the place.
I suppose there is love for you to be there.
Yeah.
And you have documentary. Wow. Is everything happening to you like this anywhere you go?
Every time. It's been going on like this for 20 years. Things just seamlessly slip into each other and that lot. As long as we're behaving ourselves and, not getting too carried away with things, and we dream the right dreams.
When we're in harmony with each other.
Yeah, then things happen. And we're a team. First and foremost, we're a team. Some people will say, oh, who built that? It's, oh, Remy does this and you do that. It's like, well, no, we're a team. It's like whatever it takes. Obviously, you look at the size of me and then you look at Remy. Obviously, Remy's not going to carry the buckets of water. It doesn't make any sense for Remy to do all the donkey work.
I would hurt, and then I would not have the
So I'll do that, but I'll have to give away a little bit in the art. I have to step back and let Remy take the lead while she's maybe carving, especially on the small sculptures that we're doing.
Yeah, but I suppose these are details. But how do you go there? I suppose that it wasn't like that always. For you both and for you before you were together and stuff.
Yeah, we were separately carving, but...
because maybe someone younger than me or someone not my age can feel that, how can we go there? How can we reach that level?
Teams, and that's and your work is a team. It's teamwork, isn't it? At the end of the day.
Training, I guess. Yeah.
And we know each other's strengths and weakness, so... It doesn't make no sense for Remy to do a certain thing when I can do it twice as quick, and vice versa. It doesn't make any sense for me to try and sculpt a beautiful face of a lady in 2 hours. Then we get Remy to do that because Remy can do that in 2 hours. Might take me 4 hours, and like an elephant's back leg. Remy might struggle for a little bit with the back leg of some creature that we're doing.
This is some kind of inside joke of yours?
Well,
this is how it is.
This is how it is. It's like Remy will say, will you do this dog's tail or something? You know how it goes. So when Remy's finished, if she doesn't know the way, then I can step in and do a little bit more, and then she'll say, oh, yeah, okay, then you can move out the way now. And
I got it.
Sometimes we all need a little bit of help and that, and that's what teamwork's about, and that's why I think our work's so enjoyable and it's so good. It's because we work really good as a team, and we're not attached to the it's me or it's us. It's like
so the message for today is like teamwork.
Yeah.
Work around each other's positives and negatives, and positive thinking, positive vibes, going out, not negative vibes.
Well, it's the vibes. It's like, it's whether you're going to express them. Them vibes are coming whether you like them or not. People feel it as negative or positive, and that lot is, again, that's down to our choice. Just if you have a choice in life to do anything, just make the choice to do as you want, but cause no harm.
Thank you for that message, and thank you for being here yet another time.
Thank you for
Thank you
having
for
us. We enjoyed it.
Thank you. Thank you for being in Burgas in Bulgaria, and I hope we see each other again in this situation. Otherwise, down on the beach again. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you all.